Hello and welcome to a 2024/2025 Oura Ring health recap. Now I do own the Oura Ring here. I think it's a Gen 3. I got it in 2023 and I've been comparing my data from 2024 to 2025 and that is what we're going to go through today. Now I've got some notes on my laptop in front of me, so when I look down that is what I'm looking at, just so I can keep on track and as accurate as possible because there's a lot to cover. But in this video, I will be going through my activity, my sleep, my recovery, my stress, and my resilience of my journey over the 2 years and my health conditions and life events that shaped those patterns. Now, between SIBO, subclinical hypothyroidism, supraventricular ectopics, chronic sinusitis, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, ongoing microbiome issues, working full-time in an office job while creating content on the side, and just living life over these 2 years, it was packed with medical challenges, flare-ups, and moments where I was just trying to keep my head above water. And it took me until now to finally have the energy to put this video together. 2024 was my fire year, intense, busy, and full of motion. I started the year with my first ever SIBO treatment, going through 3 phases and spending months on a low FODMAP diet. In March, I got COVID for the first time, and in April, my thyroid levels spiked. My T4 was high and my TSH was low, which we monitored closely. Even with all that, I kept myself moving. I walked consistently, sometimes 6 to 7 Ks, just to clear my mind from all the medical stress. I went on adventures around the region, took a trip with my partner, helped renovate a house, visited the Hobbiton, which was pretty cool, and went on regular walk runs for my mental health. I had dentist work done for the first time since 2019. I dealt with an allergic reaction to my medical alert bracelet. I sold books, trinkets at the markets from August to November, and even tried CBD oil for the first time for sleep. I got a new bike in November and I started biking, and by December I joined the gym. I felt productive because I felt guilty resting, and I still had over 113 hours of sick leave that year, even while pushing myself through everything. 2025 shifted me into an earth energy. I had a slower, steadier, and more grounded year. This year came with a whole new set of challenges though. I had eye dermatitis, ongoing stomach issues, chest pain that led to an ECG. I had ear pain from biking that turned out to be a eustachian tube dysfunction, and sinus issues that never fully cleared. I started the year strong. I had gym sessions, sauna visits, long walks. I was biking 10 to 25 kilometers at a time, and even running. I started taking Q10, BCAA powders, and protein powder to support my energy. When the gym closed from April to July and my symptoms worsened, my body naturally slowed down. I went on small adventures. I kept trying to stay active, but fatigue made everything harder. I started seeing a naturopath in April because my stomach symptoms weren't improving. By mid-year, I was in physio for my shoulder blade pain. Biking even ran until November, but eventually had to stop due to my health. I started seeing my naturopath not just for my stomach, but also for my severely low good bacteria in my vaginal microbiome. That's when I began a full antifungal candida plan and moved into a strict whole foods diet with no sugar of any kind. Added, natural, artificial. By December, I had sinus surgery due to being diagnosed with chronic sinusitis, and I had over 164 hours of sick leave. Sleep really reflected the shift between these 2 years. In 2024, even with SIBO treatment, COVID, thyroid changes, consistent activity, my sleep window stayed fairly consistent. I had a routine, my body followed that. In 2025, everything changed. Chronic sinus issues, stomach issues, fatigue, and recovering made my sleep window much more varied. My time in bed shifted later and I relied on daytime rest more often. My naps doubled from 4 to 8, a sign that my body needed more recovery then. My activity changed dramatically between the 2 years as well. In 2024, I was constantly on the move, walking, exploring, biking, renovating, going on markets, staying active, even when I didn't feel well. I carried a lot of guilt around rest, and I used to feel like I needed to move to be productive. In 2025, that pace slowed naturally between sinus issues, stomach issues, fatigue, physio, and the gym being closed for months. My steps dropped by about 25%, and I hit fewer activity goals, not because I wasn't trying, but because my body genuinely needed the rest. I still had patterns of consistency, like being most active around the same time each day, but I wasn't pushing myself the way I used to, and that taught me something important. Rest isn't laziness, productivity isn't measured in steps, and I don't have to be physically active to be productive. 2025 helped me realize that rest isn't something to feel guilty about, it's something my body genuinely needed. My cardiovascular age and nighttime recovery data also reflect the shift. In 2024, even with all the stress activities, my cardiovascular age sat around 3.5 years younger than my actual age. In 2025, it improved slightly around 4 years younger, but overall the trend stayed closer to my real age. Nighttime recovery moved from ups and downs throughout the years, but in December 2025 stands out clearly. That was right after my surgery for my sinuses, which my body finally had space to repair. My stress and resilience patterns tells an important part of the story as well. In 2024, everything was up and down: SIBO treatment, COVID, thyroid changes, dentist issues, allergic reactions, constant moving, and the emotional load of trying to stay productive. 2025, even though I was dealing with symptoms, treatments, fatigue, physio, frequent sicknesses, I had a better balance between stress and restorative time. I averaged a couple of hours of stress each day, but I also had a solid amount of recovery time. It shows how I was learning to manage my stress better, create a space for rest, and support my body through everything I was going through. In 2024, my fire year, I earned a lot of crowns, especially in activity, which reflected how much I was moving and pushing myself through symptoms, appointments, and stress. In 2025, my earth year, those totals dropped, especially in the activity. I down and eventually stopped exercising towards the end of the year, but something meaningful happened. My readiness crowns actually increased. As I move through into 2026, I'm going to carry those forward. Everything that I've learned, the pacing myself, focusing on my healing, becoming a better version of myself, giving my body the time it needs to heal. And I hope to gain more energy to get back into my exercise. Comparing my Oura data with the reality of my life has been eye-opening. It isn't sponsored or whatsoever. I just wanted to share how my data gives me clarity from the data versus my events, how the actual year went in my eyes visually, and how the data shows. I'm happy to share anything more. That you have any questions, let me know. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.